Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Pretty sure we're streaming, maybe. Alrighty, looks like we are. Fantastic. Let me see if I can get this whole Twitch thing figured out. I'm going to try a dual streaming today. So apparently Twitch is just going to be like, nah. So we'll have to figure that one out later. So don't worry about it. Okay. That is fine then. We will just cancel that. And we'll just stick with YouTube. Because you guys are wonderful people. Because y'all are wonderful people. And yeah, we'll just go with that for now. So, awesome. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back for this week's draw stream. So, let me find my stylus here. There we are. So, in case you missed the previous two or don't remember, this is where we ended up last week. We basically spent most of the stream doing this part called the flats. As you saw, yeah, it was not the most exciting thing to do, but it is very necessary. It does make things go a lot smoother. So hopefully going forward, it will make things move a lot easier. So then after we did that, we went ahead and selected the actual kind of base colors that we want to use. And then now we get to do the fun stuff, which means we get to color it. So the plan is we're going to make this a kind of a night scene, and which allows it to be kind of dark and moody, and then it also allows us to play with a bunch of crazy light scenarios and throw some real bright, crazy colors in there. So that'll be a lot of fun. So here we go. Let's get to it. So we're going to use this as my base colors, and then we're just going to go ahead and create a new layer. Let's go ahead and choose a nice brush. We're going to go with my good old-fashioned, we'll start with an airbrush. Nice soft airbrush, just to kind of get things started. Actually, what I like to do is we're going to call this, we're going to make a hard light layer, and then we're going to fill this. We're going to pick a color here. And then we're just going to do a quick fill, like so. And then we're going to do what's called a mask, which allows me to hide parts that I don't want to see. So then we're going to go ahead and basically clear out that mask. Like so. And then we go back to our brush, and then I can use my different transparency up here to basically reveal or hide things that I don't want masked. So we're going to kind of use this. Actually, tell you what I'd like to do. Tell you what, let's do this first. Let's go ahead and let's actually reveal that mask again. There. And then what we're going to do is we want to go here. I kind of want this to be a highlight layer. So we're going to make this brighter. Like so. Well, we'll push it pretty bright because I can always adjust that as we go. Cool. And then let's see. Let's go kind of yellowy with it because we got these lights coming off here. Yeah. All right. So Now, if we hopefully, now if we go ahead and do, let's see, airbrush, let's see. Yeah, we got some highlights. Oh yeah. And then we'll just. Now the main again focuses are going to be Soups here and Mr. Doomsday here. So that's where most of my detail and most of my focus is going to go. And then everything else is going to be kind of secondary to that. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is so I'm going to start, especially his face. I really want to get that face. I really want to draw attention to that face. Tell you what, I'm actually going to, since I kind of want a hard edge. Oop, let's see here. Yeah, since I want a hard edge, I'm just going to go ahead and use a pen tool, and we'll just kind of got to pick where my light source would be. We're just going to say, yeah, we're just going to say like right here. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, since he's going to have that glowing eye, since he's going to have the glowing eyes, oh yeah, we can have some fun with that. Tell you what, actually, what I am going to do is, I'm going to change that base color of his. I'm going to make that a little bit more of a solid blue. There we go. So now, if we go here, we can yeah, just like so. And then, yeah, so just kind of think about where this light would be hitting. So this kind of side of the face. Probably not on this side so much. So we'll hit over here. And this is where, using the selections are great because I can just select that color, select that without having, and then I can just go ahead and start throwing in large highlight areas without having to worry about it. I actually tell you what I got, yeah, because the way I've got the shadow going, I got it kind of coming down. So we'll just make this kind of more of a straight on shot here. Oh yeah. And yeah, I know sometimes the tendency, and I definitely have that too, when picking highlight colors, is to just make a brighter version of whatever that color is. And, there are situations where that may work, but in general, that's not really what light does. So especially in a night scene like this, you can kind of just make your light color the more or less the color of the actual light source. So yeah, might as well just go ahead and fill this hole. fill that tricep in there, although I might, yeah, although I think I am gonna cut out that part of the shoulder. Let's use the airbrush here just to kind of. Now, the farther I get away from the face, the less intensity I'm going to put on it, just because I don't want. Yeah, again, the goal is to put everything right here on get you looking at his face. And don't worry, I'll get the glow in there in a minute. Yeah, let's go ahead and actually, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to leave that. I'm actually going to leave that out because that, again, that glow is going to come later. Yeah, one thing you do want to be careful about is getting too airbrush happy. I know I can be guilty of that as anybody. So if you rely on it too much, or like if you make that your only go-to brush, it can start to look a little, I don't know, fluffy or soft. So you do kind of want to change things up a bit. Now, not saying avoid it completely. I'm using it, obviously, but you know, just try to keep it for places where it kind of makes sense. There we go. And since this is kind of a softer edge, we'll just go ahead and just kind of do that. And even though it probably wouldn't actually show, let's go ahead and give him a bit on. Yeah. Cool. All right, so now let's go ahead and work on this guy. I'm going to get Doomsday going here. So now I picture, yeah, the top of his head's going to be getting pretty well lit. Dull that down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I kind of want to go with the hard edges. I think I'd rather go hard edges here. So let me go ahead and get my ink tool back. Yeah, okay. And then we can... Yeah, and I'm going to get these two in a minute, but we're just going to focus on this. I'm going to get the spikes and everything in a minute, but first we're just going to focus on getting this dude going, the skin at least. let's see. I guess I can go ahead. Ah, cool. Now the thing is, since these are already white, it's kind of hard to make them brighter. So when we do our pass with our shadows, we'll definitely go in and make a bunch of those darker, or put a bunch of darker shadow spots on them, because that'll help make sure, that'll kind of help with making them pop a bit. And since this is hair, hair's a little bit softer, so we'll go ahead and just kind of use that for this. And these colors are likely going to change. I'm not exactly feeling this color with this guy right now, but that's all things we can change. So which is nice. Okay. Let's see. Let's just kind of do. And then back here, so the back of them is going to go in a lot of shadow. But yeah, here I would definitely want to get. Yeah, this is definitely going to get it over here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna let's put some hard edges on here too, just to kind of. Just at least in some spots here, just kind of harden the edges up. Like so. Yeah. Something like that. Something like that, maybe. And then we'll go all like that. Cool. So now let's go ahead and select these spikes. And then yeah, again, since these are all white, pretty white already, you're not going to get a whole lot of visible highlights, at least until we go in with the shadows, and then that'll make those highlights really pop. Yeah, again, this is really rough to start, but I think we're at least getting on to, yeah, at least getting a foundation here going. Go ahead and just add some highlights, some happy little highlights. Happy little highlights. Happy little highlights. Happy little teeth highlights. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy little teeth highlights. Let's let's just tell you what. Let's just go ahead and fill this big area in. Oop. There we go. There. And then we'll I don't know why. For some reason, I have muddy water stuck in my head. Everything's gonna be alright this morning. All right. Okay, it's okay. It's at least it's a start at least. Tell you what I'm gonna do is let's go ahead and select that. Here, we'll go here, and then we're gonna do some color changes here. Yeah, I want that color to pop some more. There we go. Should I make it red? Actually, I'm kind of liking that. Yeah. Don't want it to look too sometimes overlay can be a nah, we'll go back to hard light. Yeah, it's looking a little too pink. A little too pink for me. So let's go ahead and I can find like a good orange. Tell you what, let's try this. Let's just. Okay, let's go with that for now. Yeah. Let's go with that for now, and then we will. Cool. And then I can do the same for Superman. We'll go ahead and, you know. Let's go ahead and kind of liking that red, honestly. Actually, that yellow's kind of cool too. That yellow's pretty cool too, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see here, bear with me. At least on that cape. Yeah, I like, okay, yeah, you know what, let's go with that on the cape. Sorry, I'm bumping the mic everywhere. So then let's go ahead and let's go ahead and swap the suit. I want to at least, I do want to turn that to a little bit of a blue-ish. Actually, that purple looked kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, cool. Let's do that. Let's do that for now. And then, yes, and then let's go ahead and make another. Go ahead and make it hard light. And then we're going to pick kind of a basic shadow color. Let's make it somewhat blue-ish. I do want this to be rather dark and quite saturated. The Bombardius Potatoes. Peace be on those who have followed the truth. What's up? What's up, Bombardius Potatoes? Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're having a good day. I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well. Doing well, having a good day. Just a nice old rainy evening here in the middle of the United States. And, yeah, so if you haven't, thank you. You are very kind. Much appreciated. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, in case you, obviously isn't obvious, working on a little bit of Superman fan art here. Doing some, just doing some colors. Just finished at least a basic round of highlights. A lot of this stuff is subject to change. But now we get to do some shadows, which I think are going to make some things really pop here. So let's go ahead and select these and hide those. And then we're going to head just on the edges where the shadows would go. I'm going to have to make that darker, I think. Yeah, this art is cool. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, every so far we're up to three, but we're gonna try to do these live streams every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Central Time. Um, so yeah, I'd love to have you swing by. I wish more people saw this. I appreciate that. Well, all my links and everything are down in the description. If you're be so kind as to share it, man, I'd really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to shout it out. All my previous um, live streams are available for the replays on there. But that's really nice of you. I appreciate that. So are you a comic book fan like me? I'm really resisting the urge just to go full Bob Ross right now. It's a happy little shadow right there. Nice, happy little shadow. I know we kind of do that. I know I've done that every week, but it never ceases to be fun. Just a happy little shadow. Happy little shadow. Yeah, I was watching Reverend X earlier today on his Twitch stream, and he kept humming. What was it? Alice in Chains. So now they're stuck in my head. So that's just been stuck in my head all day. So it hasn't gone away. So if he ever shows up, feel free to blame him for that. Because I definitely will. I like that name, by the way. The Bombardalus Potatoes. I love it. What is going on here? Let's see. Have a little technical difficulties here. Bear with me. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're going to darken that up even more, and we're going to cut some of that saturation out. And we're just really going to push that. There we go. There we go. Now that looks more like a chateau color. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're going to get that like that. And then we're going to do this. And this, let's see. And do that. Nope. Kind of like that. Yeah. Ideally, you kind of want all the shading to be roughly on the same sides. And make some sort of logical sense. We'll just have that. Yeah. Just clean that up like that. There, just like so. A couple more here. Add some more of these. Like so. And then what I do want to also do is come in here and remove that. Yeah, remove that highlight color. There we go. There we go. Cool. Anyway, so then we can... Now we can add some more shadows here, like so. Just to kind of make some of that pop a little bit. No turning. His day we find a glorious day. It's like, man, yeah, that, I don't know if any of you guys out there have seen that, the new Rippaverse stuff that got released for that Norfolk song Glorious Death. I did do a fan art video for that. It's here on my channel. Released that earlier this morning. That song is such a banger, dude. And it's just been blazing in my head all day, and I just have not, or pretty much since it came out, I should say, so a couple days now. And yeah, I cannot get it out of my head. And I don't consider that a bad thing, because I really like it. So, so pardon me if I start breaking into the song. I don't quite have their vocal chops, but, you know, I'm far from the worst. Let's see. I do kind of want to soften this edge a little bit. Let's see. So we'll just kind of, yeah, since that is kind of a softer, you know. Okay, so let's give, okay, actually, I'll tell you what, I want to give him, it's something, you know. It's it's something. It's definitely something indeed. Yeah. And then let's do here the transparency. And then we'll kind of give a little bit of a lip shadow there. And really punch that up. Like that. Like so. I think his eyes glow. I'm just going to make his eyes glow white anyway, so I'm not really too worried about that. Okay, I know I keep saying I'm going to get to Superman, and I mean it, but hold on. What is going on here? There we go. My tablet was all of a sudden just not responding. I don't know why. But it is. But it is now, so that's what matters. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to my trusty brush. I'll go here. Let's go ahead and let's just select the suit. And hide it. Yeah, hide the selection because I don't want to see it. Yeah. So he's already popping quite a bit. Okay. Since this is kind of a smaller area, let's go ahead and wow, that's gross looking. That's a gross looking color. Okay, you know what? Let's just, for the sake of this, let's go ahead and select the skin. Okay, we'll figure that out in a second. But first, I want to get that color adjusted here because that is gross. Am I just not not saturate as much, honestly. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. What in the wild? I don't understand it. Yeah, okay. So technical difficulties, sorry about that. We're just going to give him... Yeah, I'm not going to go too crazy here because he is going to get some glows going, so I don't want the shadows to get too crazy. Probably good about there. Let's see. Let's try something different with that base. That works. Yeah, we'll kind of brighten that up, and then I can add a bunch more shadows to it. Okay, that works. Let's see. Actually, let's try... Yeah, try something like that. Okay. Um, and then we'll... Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you're doing a dark scene, you don't actually need to go super dark. Yeah, like, so in reality, this shadow color here, like, this thing would not print. But... Because it's digital, it doesn't matter. It kind of looks cool either way, but yeah, I might light it up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Oh yeah, cape. Let's see. We're just going to kind of soften this a little bit. because I want to give it that look like it's curving around, you know. It's a... Yeah. I mean, the other thing I could do is just make it a day scene and just do warm highlights and cool shadows, which I'm kind of doing anyway. But let's see here. I kind of want it to be a night scene, so... Yeah, so I'll sneeze saturate that. Darken that up. Make it a little more bluey. Like so. And then let's just go ahead and add some of those glows in here. So again, we're going to use a hard light. We're going to use a soft brush. I'm going to get a really saturated red here. And then we're just going to... Actually, this is going to go above. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Really add that high. Yeah, there we go. It's like, oh, snaps. I'm not gonna do that. Cool. And then he has kind of a whiter glow to his eyes, so we'll just kind of do that with him. He's all like, oh, that hurt. Ouch. Ouchie, ouch. Okay, and then I'm not going to do really any highlights on the ground, but I will do some shadows. Oop. Let's see, let's try this again. There. Let's see. I know this is... I don't know. There's something about this that's just not quite grabbing me here. Let's... It's just kind of... You know what I might do here? Let's see. Okay, I got some ideas. I got some ideas. You know what always makes things cooler? So let's go ahead and add. Oh no, undo. We're going to add a layer, and this is all going to be about the background. So we're going to go ahead and highlight that. Oh. Select the background. We're going to do a big gradient because the sky always gets darker the higher up you go, like so. It always gets lighter the lower you go. All right, so let's try this. Let's kind of make this dark. Like so. Then what we can do is we can let's see. Add some stars in the background. Now what I am going to do, okay, what I am going to do here is make that a clipping mask. And then we are going to lighten the buildings here. Oop. Now with droplets, though, let's try it with the actual. Okay, here we go. Kind of helps push that back, push those back in space. This doesn't though. Let's see. That gets to stay. So that stays that way. Hold on. Let's make that. Yeah. There we go. So that kind of pushes those buildings in the back. Yeah, backwards ever so slightly. Yeah, maybe I don't want it to be quite that dark back there. Hello, hello. Hope all is good. Let's see. Just doing some. In this process right here, changing the line color. You'll hear it called color holds. Um, there's another term that I've heard used for it that I am blanking at the moment, but I mostly know it as color holds. Um, yeah, change the line color. It just kind of gives that extra little. I don't know. Just helps give it a little distance in the background. Just kind of pushes things back a little bit. Actually, I think what I do want to do is let's go ahead and select that building. Let's go back here. Let's get the airbrush. Put a little bit of a gradient. Kind of lower the opacity a bit. Get a bigger brush and just kind of. Oh. There we go. There. Oh yeah, whoops. I didn't mean for. Superman should be still all black. Oh. Except maybe. Hold on, let's do this. Oh yeah. Kind of like that. It's like, oh man, yeah, his whole like eyes are on fire and you're just like getting ready to. You know what? Oh, okay. You know what? Screw it. Let's just. Okay. You know what? You know what? You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just. I'm gonna try it here. Let's try a new. Let's try a new layer. Let's see. Yeah, actually, we got this layer, right? Is there anything on that layer? Oh yeah, the glows. Okay, perfect. Just for the heck of it, let's see what happens. If I get that going. Actually, you know what? Tell you what, let's try this. Let's make this a glow. Okay. All right. So I think you guys see where hopefully you see where at least my idea is going here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add another this. We're going to leave that on normal. I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to get my ink line. We're just going to do this. We're going to like so. And then we will, hold on, let's see, let's change that to overlay now, screen, that works. And then we'll get the brush, and then we'll just kind of, oh. And then let's do this. Yeah, let's stick with that, and then we'll. Yeah, there we go. So not only did he rock him in the face, he's also hitting him with his heat vision. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, there's some like steam coming off of him. Okay, now we're talking. There we go. Now we're talking. Soups ain't playing. Soups ain't playing this time. Okay, I just realized this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead here. We're going to set there. We're going to put that to black. I want to set hers. Yeah, I want her lines to stay dark. Like a soul. And yeah. So that brings her forward. I want to make sure all of her lines are still solid black. I only want the lighter lines to be on the buildings. There. So then what we can do, oh yeah, that's already, yeah, I'm already liking that a lot better. Okay, this is cool. And then a fun thing we can do, let's see, where is that? Going to add it under here. I'm going to go ahead and get a, hold on, there we go. Now I want this, yeah, dry brush background. We'll get like a, kind of a purpley kind of color. And just kind of nice and soft. Hold on. There we go. You can just kind of add it in there just to kind of add a little extra texture. I will actually bring this back up here just to get a bit more of a vignette. Yeah, I am digging that heat vision. Okay. So let's see here. Let's just for giggles, I kind of want to try what happens if we do some rain. Let's see. Nope, that doesn't look like rain. Tut tut, it looks like rain. Tut tut, it looks like rain. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's try that. Nah, don't like it. No, don't like it. Okay, so now let's try a little something here. Let's get rid of that layer because we're not using that. So we're going to go ahead and try a correction layer. I'm going to do a tone curve. So then let's go ahead and drop these darks down a little bit. Bring up the mid-tones. Yeah. Bring down the shadows a little bit more. Let's try punching the highlights up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that looks much better. That looks much better. But I will, yeah, I think all in all, though, I still need a little bit more of a vignette than what I've got. So we're just going to, quick and dirty, it's going to make a hard light, no, I'm sorry, not hard light, multiply. Quick and dirty multiply layer. This is kind of a dark color. Let's go back to my soft airbrush and just kind of like so, just kind of around the corners. Like so. Yeah. And then one last little quick trick that I learned is you could always, if you're at all concerned about your piece reading properly, go ahead and do a color mode, and then we'll just fill this with black. So if it works in black and white, then it will work in color. So my main things I want you to look at are, let me get my teaching, let me get a red pen here. Haha, red pen, we're learning. So what I want you to look at is here. Oop. Yes, that works. Let's see. Here first, and then here, and then here. So, yeah, I think that all works. So, fantastic. So now what I can do then is I can just go ahead and fill this in with a very general kind of color, like so. Oops. Not that one. I want to color this one in. There. And then I'll just turn that opacity way down. Just enough so it's barely even there. So it's very subtle. Maybe that's a little too subtle. Yeah, I think I like that. Actually, I did notice one other thing. The lines, I do want those to be black. There we go. I was like, why is he not reading? There. Much better. Much better. All right. You know, think I'm all in all relatively happy with this. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that all in all. So now, of course, no piece is complete until you sign it. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll sign it right here. Uh, 2025. And, the beauty also about digital is, you know, if your signature's too obnoxious, you can always just shrink it, move it around. You know what? Let's try that again. There. There we go. 2025. There. Oh, yeah, let me shrink. Oh, I'll shrink that down a little bit. Put that right here. That right there. Yeah. I don't know. It's a thing. Actually, hold on. I keep finding more. Let's see. Oh, nope. Didn't want to turn that off. There we go. I wanted to select that layer. There. Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, guess we'll call that done. So this week's, I guess, a little bit shorter just because, yeah, I got the project done a little bit quicker than I expected. So, but, yeah, we'll go ahead and call that good. I don't really have anything else planned for tonight outside of, yeah, I don't know if I really want to be up for starting another one because I frankly don't have any ideas. So, yeah. So, if any guys watching this, if you have any other ideas of things you'd like to see me do during live streams or any other kind of content you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know. I am going to try doing some time lapse versions of these. So, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you'll at least get to see my process sped up. Hopefully, that will be interesting to you. But yeah, so anyway, I want to go ahead and call it there for this week. Yeah, so my name is Tim Adams, otherwise known as GolemWulf on the interwebs. All my links to all my socials are in the description. Yeah, feel free to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And otherwise, I will see you all in the next